Dear students, welcome. Today we are going to start Chapter 1 Civics, Class 8th, the Indian Constitution. In this chapter, we are going to learn about Indian Constitution, its definition, its need, what is preamble, when it came into being, what are its functions, and what are the main features of our Indian Constitution. Let's start with what is Constitution? Students, all of us play one or the other game, and each game has its own rules. If we do not play according to rules, it is considered as a foul. Similarly, like these games, a society has certain rules according to which it is to be governed. Rules are essential in every sphere of life. So, to govern a country or state, a written document in which we find such rules and regulation which help the government how to govern is called a constitution. In simple words, we may say constitution is a body of principle, set of rules and regulation according to which a country is governed. Have a look at this slide. Constituent Assembly. Let's discuss how Constitution came into being. Between December 1946 to November 1949, the Constituent Assembly drafted a constitution for India. It took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to prepare the final draft of the constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of Constituent Assembly Drafting Committee. The date 26 January was chosen to commemorate the Puran Swaraj Declaration of Independence of 1930. With the adoption of Constitution, India became the modern and contemporary Republic of India. There were 389 members in the Constituent Assembly. Out of them, 15 were female candidates. Our constitution was handwritten by Prem Bihari Narayan Raijada in italic style, both in English and Hindi, and it was decorated by artists from Shantiniketan. Now, let's know what is preamble. Preamble means an introduction to Constitution. It is an integral part of Constitution. Preamble is an introductory statement that explains its purpose. The preamble of our Constitution starts with the phrase, "We the people." This is inspired by the preamble to the Constitution of US. According to Preamble of India, India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. These are main features of our preamble. Have a look at Constitution. It plays a relationship between government and its people. There are 3 organs of the government: legislature, judiciary, executive, which make law for people. Judiciary interprets the laws and executive enforces the laws. Now, question arises, why do we need Constitution? Let's try to understand it by knowing the functions that Constitution serves. The first function of the Constitution is to provide a set of basic rules Second function is to specify who has the power to make decisions in a society. It decides how government will be constituted. The third function of constitution is to set some limits on what a government can impose on its citizen. Fourth function of constitution is to fulfill the demands of a society and create conditions for a just society. Have a look at this slide. We need constitution to govern a country. It tells us about the political system of a country, all the three organs, executive, judiciary, and legislature function within the constitution. It lays down rules that guard against misuse of power by our political leaders. Constitution guarantees the right to equality to all the persons. It ensures that a dominant group doesn't use its power against less powerful. Constitution prevents domination by the majority of a minority. We need constitution to save us from ourselves. Constitution helps us to protect against certain decisions that we might take that could have an adverse effect on the larger principles that country believes in. Constitution is required to protect the fundamental rights of citizens and protect their freedom. So, Constitution plays an important role in democratic societies. Students, let's try to understand the ways in which the above discussed points get translated into certain ideas and rules by studying some key features of the Indian Constitution. Some important key features of Indian Constitution are federalism, parliamentary form of the government, separation of power, fundamental rights, and secularism. Let's discuss them in detail. Federalism. It refers to existence of more than one level of government in the country. One at central level or union government, second at state level. For example, in center, we are having BJP government led by Shri Narendra Kumar Modi, PM of India. And at state level, the party could be different. For example, in Haryana, we are having BJP government, and in Punjab, Congress government is there. State government has some rights to make changes in concurrent list. Panchayati Raj is the third tier of government. All persons in India are governed by laws and policies made by each of these levels of government. This is all about federalism. Now, let's move to parliamentary form of the government. In India, elections are held. Ours is a democratic country. Representative of government are elected by people. Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage for all citizens, means all the citizens who are 18 years and above have right to vote. People of India have a direct role in electing their representative. Every citizen of country, irrespective of their social background, can also contest in elections. The elected representatives are accountable to the people. At state level, MLAs are there, and at national level, Member of Parliament are elected by people by casting vote. The third important feature of Constitution is separation of powers. There are three organs we have seen in the previous slides: the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. The legislature makes law, executive enforces law, and judiciary interprets the law. Each of these organs exercise different powers. Each organ acts as a check on the other organ of the state, and this ensures the balance of power between all three organs and avoid misuse of power. Fundamental rights is the fourth main key feature of our Constitution. 6 fundamental rights have been given by Constitution to all the citizens of India. First is right to equality. Right to equality means all people are equal before law. There is no discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, gender. Every person has access to all public places as shops, parks, playgrounds, etc. The practice of untouchability has been abolished. Second right is right to freedom. It includes freedom of speech and expression, right to form association, right to move freely and reside in any part of the country, right to practice any profession, occupation are parts of right to freedom. Third is right against exploitation. It prohibits trafficking. It banned forced labor. Children under 14 years are not allowed to work under this right. Next is right to freedom of religion. All the citizens are free to practice, propagate, and profess any religion of their choice. Next is cultural and educational rights. All minorities, religious or linguistic, can set up their own educational institutions in order to preserve and develop their own culture. And last is right to constitutional remedies. This allows to move the court if they believe that any of their fundamental rights have been violated by the state. Next is secularism. Secularism means Constitution allow individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices. There is no state religion. The principle of separation of the state from the religion, no discrimination against anybody in the name of religion. Every citizen, irrespective of which religion he or she follows, is equal in the eyes of laws and policies. State doesn't officially promote any religion. These were the main features of our Constitution. Let's have a look to structure of Constitution of India. There is one preamble, 25 parts, 450 articles, 104 amendments. Amendment means changes in the existing laws. Till January 2020, 104 amendments have been made. There are 12 schedules and 2 appendices. Fundamental rights, directive principles, and fundamental duties are part of it. Now, all of us are entitled to certain rights as well as obliged to certain duties. It is our duty as responsible citizens that we abide by these laws and carry out our duties. These are fundamental duties. Give a quick reading to this slide. If we ask for rights, we should do our duties sincerely. Let's see main features of our constitution. Ours is longest written constitution, single citizenship, partly rigid and partly flexible, an independent judiciary, secular state, directive principles, fundamental duties, fundamental rights, a democratic republic. To conclude, by now you are able to understand that Constitution plays a crucial role in laying out the ideals that we would like all citizens of the country to adhere to. Thank you.